Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Juliet, and I am the host for today's session. Before I pass it over to Matt Mickle to kick off our expert interview with Gokul, let me cover a few housekeeping items. At the top of your screen are multiple engagement tools you can use. All tools are resizable and movable, so feel free to move them around to get the most out of your desktop space. You can expand your presentation area or maximize it to full screen by clicking on the arrows in the top right corner. If you have any audio or video issues, you can find answers to some common technical issues located in the help widget at the top of your screen. Please note that additional resources are available in the resource list. Have a look and access everything that you may find useful. Also, this session will be recorded and sent via the email you registered with. Lastly, if you have any questions during the presentation, you can submit them through the Q&A widget. We're here to answer you live via the chat, so don't hesitate to reach out throughout the session. Now, I'd like to pass it over to Matt Mickle, our Director of Automotive and Semiconductor Solutions, to kick off our expert interview. Take it away, Matt.
Thanks, Juliet. Today I'm joined by Gokul Krithivasan, a seasoned leader and expert in autonomous vehicle and AI safety, as well as the co-founder and managing partner at SecuRESafe, or SRES, where he partners with clients to develop responsibly safe and secure products in the automotive, consumer, and industrial sectors. Gokul has over 13 years of experience in automotive safety, having served as a safety manager for the development of autonomous robotaxis, delivery robots, and long-haul trucks. He's a certified expert in functional safety, SOTIF, and AI safety, and has trained over 1,000 industry professionals and executives in these standards. Prior to SRES, Gokul had leadership positions at UL Solutions as well as KVA. Welcome, Gokul.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So Gokul, you spend a lot of time working with teams that are trying to bring AI into real automotive programs. In several industry discussions, including posts from SecuRESafe, people have suggested that AI is moving into automotive faster than the controls around it. From your perspective, how would you describe the current moment for AI in automotive?
Yeah, it's everywhere, right? All around us. I think we see in our industry people using it to write code, so coding co-pilots, writing requirements, right? That's another new application that we are seeing. It's getting better and better. Certainly, since the 2010s, we see AI embedded in cars, particularly advanced driver assistance systems and automated driving systems in the cloud, data analysis, predictive maintenance. We also see a lot of automakers now introducing GPT-based chatbots for infotainment systems. Also, we are seeing AI quite a bit, of course, has always been there in the manufacturing process, optimization, but more so now with physical AI in the form of humanoid robots. There are some factories, even in the US, we know also overseas, where humanoids are being used in the production side, right? So a lot of these are trained, have ML models in them. So we see a lot of both AI as part of the development process, in the product development process, in the car, and also now AI-powered tools have only proliferated quite a bit in the best possible way, right? Sort of leading to hyper productivity. But while we have this moment, there's also all the risks that come with it, right? It's inherently non-deterministic. Therefore, we need to make sure that the outputs of these tools, outputs of these humanoid robots in terms of actions and how cars operate, we need to make them safe, and we need new sets of tools, improved tools to do that.
Mm. And we're seeing new guidance such as ISO Pass 8800 alongside functional safety and SOTIF. Many articles are describing this as almost filling gaps around data uncertainty and post-deployment oversight. Which gaps would you say matter most in the industry today?
Yeah, so the traditional standards like SOTIF and functional safety, it's funny we call them traditional. They've only been around for maybe 12, 13 years, right? Because the industry is moving so quickly. Both of these standards, let's take functional safety as an example, It's taking a look at the overall vehicle, the systems of systems, the software, the hardware. We ask questions about systematic errors, things that could be designed in. We are also asking questions of the hardware, the random hardware failures. On the SOTIF side, we ask questions about, are there certain scenarios that are harder? Are they known to us? Are there edge cases out there? So it's a very systems thinking, sort of a high level, then boiled down to the lower levels. Um, in the in these traditional standards, we didn't really get down to the ML level, right? So we looked at the symptoms, but never really thought about the root causes. Also, these standards never looked at the data that are used to build supervised machine learn models and algorithms, right? So there is this new class of risk that can come from the type of data you use to train your model, to validate and test your model. Therefore, the ISO 8800 standard sort of plugs this gap. It's still a very new standard. It's only a PAS or a publicly available specification. We know the committee is working towards having a more formal, fully released standard later this year, where we will have a better, more formal framework. In addition to that, when I mentioned these AI-powered tools that we are using in our product development process, the ISO 8800 standard doesn't directly address those. However, there is an international standard, the ISO IEC 22440, that will come out, which will start addressing some of those topics as well. Like, how do you reduce uncertainty? How do you qualify? There are some tool qualification topics that come in. 26262 will be the base for it, but also there are some AI standards that will help us with AI powered tools.
And I guess 26262 will have some content in there when it has the new release as well.
Hopefully, yeah. That's what we are closely monitoring all of these standards. We are on these committees, and we expect also a discussion on ML in the 2027 edition. Yeah.
Nice. There's actually recently a lot of industry posts around AI without guardrails that warn about downstream cost and risk. What are some of the early warning signs that an organization does not yet have the governance maturity needed in order to responsibly deploy AI?
Yeah. So this is something that we've been really deeply involved in over the past 2 years or so. And we usually ask our customers, do you know how people are leveraging ML and AI tools within your organization? And we ask leaders, right? We work with heads of safety, chief engineers. We sometimes also interact with information security and legal departments. You see people looking at each other, right? Some organizations do, even they don't have a full understanding of all the different use cases. So that's something that we've seen as just a fact, because everybody's using it. Some organizations, even though they have banned or prohibited use of these tools, there is this shadow AI, right? People are still using them. So that's been a common theme that we see. People don't understand fully all the different use cases of ML and AI tools in their organization. Also, a warning sign is the decision making is not really centralized, right? We don't see in some companies, there is no like governance or a committee that is taking a look at, okay, should we be using AI for this purpose? And if we are using AI, what are the risks around it? Are we comfortable with the countermeasures we have in place, right? Particularly on the accountability front, like how do we make sure that like we have traceable decision making before we go out there, so that it doesn't go break in the field and then we are scrambling to really like fix it. Those are just a few of them, but I think the first good questions to ask ourselves and also maybe our partners and customers and suppliers.
Interesting. You mentioned earlier around deterministic systems and how traditional automotive safety concepts were sort of developed around deterministic systems with well understood failure modes, but AI now introduces new sources of uncertainty and variability. as AI becomes more common in safety relevant systems, how do you see the concept of safety evolving?
Yeah. Yeah, we can no longer deterministically test everything, right? Of course, we see our customers using Jama for their product lifecycle management, the requirements, and also linking to test cases. And in the more traditional domain, they will just show us Jama and show us, hey, we have 100% tested everything, right? Now they still have to use these tools that will help them. However, it's going to be highly iterative. It's no longer going to be possible to show with 100% certainty that we have fixed everything. Therefore, we need to be prepared for, even after we've deployed in the field, there could be risks, there could be unknowns or edge cases. Therefore, we need agility, we need iterative sort of thinking, even safety engineering, which is traditionally seen as a very waterfall, step-by-step sort of approach. Safety engineering has not been that for over a decade, but that's still the stereotype about safety engineering, right? So in this moment, safety thinking, systems thinking, and safety engineering has to be highly responsive. We need safety cases that are live. We see customers using Jama to build goal-structured notations for safety cases, right? Organizing the safety case, making sure that you have the people, the processes, and the tools in place to be very responsive to things that could happen in the field so that you can come back, redeploy,